Last year, India was a favorite to win the T20 World Cup, and it didn't even qualify. New Zealand, which I thought was the very good team, loses to Australia. If you're wondering why did that happen, it's because Australia, in my opinion, had a better strategy. So if you're a student of JEE Main and you're a good student, without a strategy, you may not get the score that you want to. So let's discuss strategy today. First of all, you need to know how many marks you need to score to get the percentile you wanted. Generally, 100 to 110 is the 95th percentile. 145 to 165 is the 98th percentile. 165 to 185 is the 99th percentile. And about 200 is the 99.5 percentile. Now that you're clear on how many marks you need to score, you know what percentage you'll get. You might be surprised that you might think that you need only 30 questions right to get the 95th percentile. You have to keep provisions for the questions that you will get wrong. You know, this year in the JEE 2022, there's negative marking not only for the MCQ section, even section B, the numericals, you have negative marking. So you need to know the rules well. Now there's a caveat to this as well. In the optional section, that's the numerical sections, you have 10 questions in each: physics, chemistry, math. You have to answer only 5. But the 6th question that you answer, there is no negative marking. It's like a no ball. You can answer the 6th question and still there is no negative marking. You cannot get out for that question. You need to know that. So knowing the rules of the game is very important. The second strategy is you need to put marks on the board, or like scores on the board, as soon as the game starts. If you're playing cricket and you start scoring runs early in the game, you know that you're in a much secure position. And then the chances of winning is higher. Just like that, when you're given the JEE Main exams, you need to score early on in the game. The way you do that, the way you score marks early on, is by taking the easiest subject, your easiest subject first, and the easiest section or the easiest questions first. So if your easiest subject is chemistry, you start giving wet chemistry, and then your next subject and the next hardest subject last. Even when you're giving the easiest subject first, you need to answer the level 1 questions first, then the level 2 questions, and finally the level 3 questions. See, you know that answering just half the questions right, somewhere between 30 to 32 questions, you are in the 95th percentile. You secure a good chance of getting through JEE Mains. After that, it takes you only 7 to 8 questions right for you to be in the 98th percentile. Now that you know for sure. Then you have to make provisions for the questions that you might get wrong. So to be in a safe bet, let's say you're targeting, for example, I want to be in the 99th percentile, and you know that it's only 165 marks. That's somewhere between 40 to 43 questions right. But you have to keep provisions for the questions that you would have answered wrongly. So my safe bet, or my safe suggestion for a safe bet, would be to get around 51 questions right. And then you're assured that you'd be in the 99th percentile. Third thing that you have to remember is attempting questions that you have no clue about. It's better to be avoided than guessing. Guessing through JEE Main is not going to get you anywhere. So unless there is a 50% chance of getting it right, you know the MCQ section, and you know that I am more than 50% sure this is the right answer, only then attempt your answers. If you've seen a lot of cricket matches, I hope you've seen a lot of cricket matches, and you know that every time you played well and you're going on well, and then you lose a wicket. Losing a wicket is like getting a couple of answers wrong. And you've seen the teams crash. If you don't want to avoid a situation like that, you have to stay calm. The minute you get questions wrong, you need to compose yourself, box breathe yourself, then start scoring slowly. Just like cricket. Even in the last overs, playing the last overs well, you can win the match. Just like cricket, even in the JEE Mains, even in the last part of the game or last part of the exam, getting 6 or 7 questions right can put you at the percentile you wanted. Just again, to end this, and I'm saying you might be a good student. Unless you have a good strategy, the chances of getting the scores you want might be hard. I want you to win the game. I want you to do well in the JEE Main. That is why I'm suggesting a good strategy. I'm ending this with a quote from Kapil. It says, when you work with a smile. I hope you work with a smile and do your best. Thank you.